Yes. Windows 10 support ends October 14th, everybody. You have 3 months to figure out. Okay, am I gonna go to Linux? Am I gonna go to Windows 11? What am I gonna do? If you're even still on Windows 10 at this point. I adopted Windows 11 early on, and it felt like Windows 10 Part 2 kind of type of deal, because outside of the right click menu changing and the file system style, I guess, changing, and the task manager style changing, it all felt like Windows 10 to me. But then they added Copilot, and now you can't even go to your notes without Copilot being there. I mean, it's not automatically on, but the fact that it's there, it rubs me the wrong way. I don't know about y'all, but anyway. So this video has a specific person in mind. And that specific person is someone who's coming from Windows 10, who hasn't hopped on the bandwagon of Windows 11, maybe has heard about Linux with the, few things here and there, at least has heard of Ubuntu, doesn't really know which way they want to go about it, Linux or Microsoft, Windows 11. I will have a video up for you if you want to go with Linux, but for right now, this is just how I personally set up Windows 11. So I wish I could say that I use Linux mostly, even primarily, but I really don't. On my laptop I do, but that's my secondary machine after building this desktop rig that I'm talking to you on right now. And the only reason I'm not using Linux yet is because of the whole I know gaming has come a long way for Linux, but when it comes to the anti-cheat systems holding everything back right now, and this is mainly my gaming rig, so I want to be able to have multiplayer whenever I do play with friends on there. It's just easier to not deal with that, because the anti-cheat system is crazy, and I'll go more in depth on that in my Linux video. But we'll get to that bridge when we get to it. Right now we're talking about Windows 11. So I've created a virtual machine. If you don't know what a virtual machine is, this is basically it. It's software that tricks an operating system into thinking that it's hardware. So this entire virtual machine thinks it's a computer, even though it's software running inside of a already existing operating system. This is called a Type 2 hypervisor for you people who want to know the technical term. So, yes. It's loaded. Okay, there we go. So this says an 8-core, but I've actually made this as relatable as I can to who I would suspect is either running a low-end desktop, mini PC, or laptop. And by laptop and all that, just basics, like 4-core CPU. It's slightly faster just because my default. I don't think there's a way to modify that in the virtual machine. If there is, I don't know about it. And then 8 gigs of RAM. The SSD size is gonna change as we go, but I would imagine your system has a 256, or nowadays a terabyte's actually the standard. So a terabyte SSD would be probably what I would expect you to have. Normally, I would suggest you get a memory upgrade if you can, because the standard of 8 gigabytes is running out. I would say the new standard would be 16 gigabytes. Same thing with the CPU. A 4-core CPU, if you're really using your machine for anything other than like web browsing and stuff like that, I would recommend you get an 8-core at least. A 16-core if you really want to go that route, but that's a lot of money. So this is what it looks like out of the box, and I personally do not like this. I like my operating system to be clutter-free and not have a bunch of junk in it, and this has a lot of junk in it. If I hit the Windows key here, and obviously it's running on a virtual machine, so the lag and everything, you just gonna have to live with it. Some of these are here, and some of these are just applications that will install whenever I click on something. So like solitaire and casual games, I don't think that's actually installed. Let me see. Oh my gosh, it is. Okay. Sometimes you'll have things that are on there that whenever you click on them, will actually start to download something instead of just actually being there. This is how they put ads into your startup, which is insane. It's crazy. Also, you've got Copilot out the box. You've got OneDrive or Outlook even. OneDrive's over here. OneDrive's actually not turned on because I'm not signed in. That's good. I would imagine if you sign in, all that's turned on and all that. You got to turn all that back off. You can do by doing what I just did. Go down to Windows Update. Check for updates. You know how to update your system. I hope you do anyway. If you don't, there you go. This is how you check for updates. And all that shit's gonna take forever to do. So, yeah, that took forever. Anyway, whenever that's done, don't restart just yet because you have secret updates. I know. That's exactly what you wanted to hear from me. Microsoft has secret updates. Yeah. Come here. Go to optional updates. And if nothing's here for you, that's great. On every actual hardware I've ever used, there's usually some sort of driver or something like that that you want to go ahead and get at this stage. And then, of course, click down here. It'll take you back to this. Restart. I will be back when we restart. Yeah, that took forever too. If you ever are considering about Linux, that'll also push you over the edge. We started this video at like 10:30. It's 11 now, and all I've done is update the system. So yeah, for the remainder of this video, I'm gonna put it in full screen mode, just to make it a little bit easier on, you know, seeing everything. First and foremost, just my personal, everything on here is my personal, you know, decisions. If you don't do this, it's not like it's wrong or anything. It's just like not what I would do. This is me. So first and foremost, I don't like icons. After being on Linux as long as I was, these annoy me because I didn't have them for so long, and now that they're there, they're just screen space taken up. If that makes any sense, somebody's got to understand that. So what I do is I click over here, I go to view, and I go to show desktop icons, and I turn that off. Boom, they're gone. It's great. Next thing I want to do is I want to go to settings. So in this case, personalize. And I want to pick a darker theme. Just slap that together, slap that on there. Is it not gonna let me do that? You need to activate Windows before you can personalize your PC. We'll fix that. We will fix that. So this time you're going to put in this IRM https //get.activated.win IEX, enter. Activation methods. We're gonna click 1. We're gonna turn on unblock and then hit 1. There we go. Okay, there you go. You've got the key, done, converted, activating. Okay, so yeah, whenever you run that tool, hit 1. And there we go, permanently activated. We're gonna turn this off, turn that off, turn that off. And already it's looking better. Now, also, other system tray icons, I don't want to see that. I do want to see that. And I do want to see that. That's just if there is something. Of course, there's gonna be something for us because we're not signed into Microsoft and it doesn't like that. And that's all that really is. So I might turn that back off for now. Taskbar behaviors. You can change this to left or center. I prefer center. And then after that's done, I get rid of all these. Unpin, 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 unpin. So now the only thing that's going to pop up here is whatever's running, which right now is nothing. And everything else I can access right through here. So eventually we will modify this and make it look pretty. For right now, because it's just stock and there's not really, there's really just too much on here to really sort through by default, I'm not going to mess with that just yet. Now we're going to get into the more, you know, optional technical side of things. You can stop here and just be like, oh sweet, change the wallpaper, do all that good shit, and be like, ah, that looks great. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go to terminal admin. So whenever you do open up your terminal, just type this in, IRM, https christitus.com/win. This is made by Chris Titus Tech. Super cool dude, knows a whole lot more than I do. And he built this tool that if I hit enter will start to run. It's also why I ran my terminal as admin, so be sure to do that. And this is a really cool application. Now, it's not even technically an application, it's more so just a script, because it's not actually on your machine. It's running through your machine, but it's not on your machine. He does have a paid version to where you can actually have it as an application. I'm going to go ahead and turn it to dark mode here because that's very bright. And everything you do over here is going to pop up over here. So if this looks complicated, it can be, but it doesn't have to be. So one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to get Brave. So as you can see, I clicked on Brave and selected apps got toggled to 1. So that is just keeping track of what apps you want to get. This is a good way to get apps without having to go to, your browser. You don't have to go open up Edge to go get another version of Edge. You can just, or Chromium to go open up another version of Chromium, I should say, because Edge is just Chromium, and so is Brave. So that's what I meant by Edge, to go get Edge, because technically Brave and Edge are the same. They have the same insides, I should say. Anyway, Brave. Do I need anything else? Discord. Signal. I don't really need anything development-wise, document-wise. Games, don't really need much. I do need that, and I do need that, so we'll do that. Don't need any of the Microsoft tools. Don't need anything. Oh, we may need VLC. Where's VLC? VLC. There we go. Boom. As you can see, the toggle just keeps adding up the more I go. Pro Tools. Don't really need any of that. Ooh, Portmaster's already on here. That's sweet. I like Portmaster. I didn't realize I could just get it from you, Chris Titus. Hell yeah. So that's great. That video doesn't really need to exist anymore. It's already on here. I hope that does work. That's cool. Portmaster is a very good application. That is really good for your security. All right. So we're done with all that. Now you just click install/upgrade applications. And as you can see on the left there, it is installing or queuing everything to install. It's going to first check if you have WinGet. I do, but it's outdated, so it's going to get a new version of WinGet. And all of this is being installed using WinGet, which I do not know enough about to tell you what that is. Outside of what I think it is it's kind of similar to, and this is my limited knowledge, I'm sorry, but it's kind of similar to running a package manager on Linux. That's my understanding of it, and it's, like I said, I don't really know a whole lot outside of that. It works, and it works great, and that's what I equate it to in my mind. So, if you know more, put it down in the comments. But it is really a nice tool to be able to do all this right through the terminal. Like, this is the Linux way to set up Windows. It really is, because nobody else is doing it this way except for me, and if you're watching this, if you decide to try it. But it makes things a lot more simple. You ain't gotta go multiple tabbing on a browser, or God forbid going through the Microsoft Store to get it. Just slap everything together this way and you just wait. So that's what I'm about to do. And it looked like Discord has started, so I'm just gonna close out of that for now because we don't really want to run it just yet. And I'll do the same thing for anything else that pops up. Okay, didn't take long at all. It's 11:15. So yeah, the installs are finished. That's great. Another cool thing about this tool, also pause, I do want to point out, it says package manager right there with winget, so I was on the money when I said what I said. I just needed to read. So if we go to tweaks, this will also look confusing. Well, I don't want to go through all this. You don't have to. Just click standard. And then dark theme, definitely want that. Automatically does that. And again, it tells you everything it's doing. Numlock on startup I like. Snap assist. You may want to turn off these two, especially if you're gaming. This is kind of, those two, I don't know why they're automatically on. Go ahead and turn those off. And the rest is fine over there. Another thing I like to do is I like to, oh, you can debloat Brave. Neat. I'll save that for a later video if I decide to do it. Set time to UTC. This is good for if you're going to dual boot with Linux. So if you're experimenting with Linux right now, go ahead and do that. I don't know why it doesn't use it by default. I prefer UTC anyway. I'm literally the same as Chris Tech on that one. Remove OneDrive, yes. I do not want OneDrive. And disable Microsoft Copilot, yes. And that's it for me on that one. So another thing I'm going to do with tweaks is I'm going to obviously remove OneDrive, obviously turn off disk cleanup. There's also set classic right click menu. So right now it's this is ugly. I want the classic, the Windows 10 one. Run tweaks. You don't even have to restart your PC, everything's already done. So this is more so how I have everything configured on my main machine that I can literally show you if I just minimize this, but you've got updates to where you can change it to do just security updates. So features will be updated, but only in 2 years at a time. But security updates will install every, 4 days. So very nice, very nice. And that kind of helps you out with the tweaks because, like Chris said, every feature update that rolls out, you're gonna have to redo what you did. And again, it only adds a few seconds, but still. Then there's a whole micro win thing you can do. And this has so much with it that it might deserve its own video. But it's actually really cool. You can make an ISO out of your already created system. So if you're hopping to another machine or you got a brand new machine and you just want to slap your Windows as is on there, just create an ISO file and boot into it using this. It's very, 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 very cool. You will need the original Windows 11 ISO file for it, but it lets you like change all the way up to Pro if you want to. It's really nice. So back to this, right? I think I spent way too much time on that tool. One easy thing for us to set up is Port Master. So start core service is what you're gonna click. Yes. So then it's gonna pop up like this. Filters are initializing, all that good stuff. Quick setup, and just click next through all of this. You can be more, or more or less at your own discretion, specific with what you want to filter out. And you've got to think of this as a software layer firewall, basically. This will help monitor incoming and outgoing connections and block certain things that by default aren't even blocked. It'll also give you a map and let you see what connections you've made and where you've quote-unquote traveled. And that's really cool to figure out what's taking you to where, or what is taking your data to where. So I've been to Canada 7 times just in this video. That's crazy. One setting. So over here, on the left, you're gonna have global settings that you need to go ahead and enable is always use DNS cache. This gives it a little bit more space to resolve DNS issues, because otherwise you're gonna go load up YouTube or something like that, and if that cache isn't always in use, then it runs out of space and will block that connection, just basically. I don't know why, but at least in my experience, it's best to just leave that on. And if you're going to be doing any RDP or anything like that, turn this off. And that's just if you're doing any like remote connection projects, and then whenever you're done, turn it back on, all that good stuff. All right, so as you can see, things are filtering through. No connections blocked right now, which is kind of insane. If I load up my port master on my actual main machine, which I think I'll do just for now. If I go over here, oop, that's OBS, not what I wanted. So this is port master on my dangerous incoming connections. Oh, I forgot to turn that back on. Okay, we've turned it back on. It's fixed. Okay. So connections blocked 71. Surprisingly, a lot of these are VirtualBox, but they're peer-to-peer connections, so that kind of makes sense. But if I go to the 3 tab down here, nope, they're all VirtualBox. That's crazy. Normally there's a lot of Microsoft up in here, but that's crazy. Anyway, and you can see where all I've been. I've been to Germany twice. For whatever reason, you can click on them. Oh, because I got Portmaster from Germany on my virtual machine. Okay, that's funny. So then you can close that out. Now, whenever you close it on your for your first time, it's gonna say, "Hey, this is still gonna be running in the background." Just click Never Show Again if you don't want to see that, and just close the UI. And yeah, it'll be running down here, and you can always just click on it, open it, just like I did on my main machine. And it's something just kind of nice to add more security. It's not a antivirus software or anything like that. It's not constantly scanning your machine. All it's doing is listening to the network, and that's all it's doing. And it's going to block anything it deems malicious, and it's going to give you a nice little privacy filter. And there's even some more stuff you can do if you get the Plus or Pro versions, but the free version is perfectly fine. So that's what I use. The only other thing I didn't do for this is because I'm assuming you don't want to go into the Microsoft Store, but if you do, check out translucent taskbar, because that's what this is on my main machine. That's why this looks as good as it does. I have it set to be completely translucent whenever the Windows key isn't clicked, and then whenever it is clicked, it goes into this more, I can't remember what the word is for it. With Start Open, it's acrylic, so this is acrylic. And then obviously it's clear, and then it goes acrylic. And that's, I don't know, small detail, but something I prefer. And this is just how I set up my machine. This is how my Windows is set up. It makes it a little bit more Linux user friendly, as Linux user friendly as you're gonna get with Microsoft, as far as I'm aware. So yeah, if you like stuff like this, leave a comment down below, and I'll see if I can do more. This video is kind of all over the place because I'm really not in the groove of making videos anymore. I was for a good while, a couple years back, back when this channel was gone by a different name and a whole different purpose and all that, but you know, getting back in the swing of things, it'll be a little bit of a rough start, but as I get more consistent with it, it'll get better and better as we go. But I still hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did, because it helps me, you know, actually see that you liked it. Subscribe if you want. If not, that's cool too. But either way, I hope this helped someone out with getting their system up and running a little bit faster and a little bit cleaner. That's ultimately what this was about. So I will go ahead and be editing this 2-hour-long video into hopefully something a little bit more consumable, like maybe 20 minutes, hopefully all the way down to 15, but we'll see. My next video will be about Linux. to kind of help those users who are on the other side of the fence, who are going the Linux route, decide what they want to do. And that one's going to be a little bit longer because there are a lot of options. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see ya when I see ya.